This week in our collective heads, wanna put an old rumor to bed. Stereotype that you've all heard, how we're all just angry video game nerds. Most of us have actual jobs, kids and families and cats and dogs, yeah. This week in our collective heads, this week in our collective heads.
Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick. I'm here giving you the gaming news like we do every single week. If you're not subscribed, please do so. We do try to put out quality content. If you don't like something, let us know what you don't like so we can improve it. But we want to give you the best gaming news possible. We want to distill it to the good stuff, to the stuff that's important to you, and some things that you may not realize are important. Starting off with backwards compatibility like we do every single week. We've got Tomb Raider Legend to start off with. That was a PS2 game if I'm not mistaken. But fun stuff. It's classic Tomb Raider, old school Tomb Raider, which I love. And then you've got Tomb Raider Anniversary Edition. This is the remaster bit of Tomb Raider, a remake of Tomb Raider. Again, classic Tomb Raider and awesome stuff. So if you haven't checked out the backwards compatible games, Xbox is putting these out every single week. If you go into your Xbox store and you go to backwards compatible games, there are so many games available now. It's part of Xbox's promise to keep supporting the games that you purchased and keep supporting these different platforms because they want to move forward as a single platform. It's one of the best things that's going on in gaming right now, honestly, if you're playing console gaming, that is. We also got some updates, switching gears a little bit, on the IGN Retraction story. This was, thought I had that in front of me, but I didn't. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. So a little update in regards to Philippe Minuchin, whatever his name is, from IGN. That's gone anyways, so it doesn't matter. IGN is pulling all of IGN is pulling all the IGN is pulling all of the reviews from this guy because he basically plagiarized pretty much everything that he did from what I can see. Not everything, but close enough. It all culminated with this Dead Cells review and a smaller YouTuber having the exact same review because he copied it from a smaller YouTuber. This type of practice is just complete crap, and it's hurting everyone in the long run. So I'm really glad that he's getting what he deserves, and IGN is doing what's right and cleaning up this because it's really bad for IGN. It's bad for gaming. It's bad for gaming journalism to push forward in that type of manner and not really clean up and realize. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. It's best for gaming journalism to do this. I don't think that it's revisionist history like some people were saying. I think this is important to keep IGN reputable. It's important for IGN to say, hey, this is wrong, this is a retraction, this is modern day retraction. It used to be in newspapers and in news, traditional like cable news and regular news, they'd have a retraction section where they'd say, hey, we're wrong on this, I'm sorry. So this is the 21st century version of that, which I think is a good thing. For those of you who didn't see, Dark Souls is coming to Switch. It was delayed for a little bit, but it is coming out October 19th, so rejoice. You'll be able to play Dark Souls on your Switch, which is probably one of the most interesting ways to play it, in my opinion. I think that Dark Souls lends itself to the short game. You can play for 5-10 minutes and get something decent out of it. Also, because the Switch, obviously, being able to power save and save where you are will work really well. So if you're in the middle of an area and you need to stop, you hit the power button on the Switch, it saves where you are. As long as that Switch doesn't lose power, you're good to go. Which I'm really happy about because you can. That's my big thing when it comes to console gaming on the go. When it comes to handheld gaming, it's really important that any type of gaming like that can be stopped at a moment's notice, so that way you can continue on with your life, and that way the handheld does not consume your life. Gaming is awesome, gaming is great, but we do not want to be in a situation where we where it controls what we do. What may control what I do, though, is Diablo on Switch. I am a huge Diablo fan. I'm so happy this is coming to Switch. Again, being able to stop it at a moment's notice, go on with my life, and then jump back in is great. Diablo 3 is good. I think Diablo 2 is still superior to the game in regards to gameplay, in regards to the random generation. Everything I think is better in 2, which is crazy. They still haven't come up with a better version, but doing this on the go is going to be excellent. I can't wait to be playing this on the go, and also being able to take that and then dock it and play with my, with my wife or anybody else who's around, because this still has couch co-op, if I'm not mistaken. Believe it shows it here in a second. Yep, this guy pops in. He's like, "Hey, I want to play too," because that's the magic of gaming. That's the magic of the Switch and of console co-op, couch co-op stuff. This is how it should be. This is how it's been for freaking ever, and it should continue to do that. That's the good stuff of gaming in history that should stay. And now, in regards to the future of gaming, Discord is wanting to sell, or is moving forward with selling. They're selling games on its game store. These are curated games, which I think is a great idea. They're moving forward with the universal launcher, similar to a Steam kind of situation. But to be able to cultivate games, which is what we've been saying forever when it comes to Steam, when it comes to PlayStation and all of these, Nintendo's cultivating games, but if Discord can do it and do it better, if I can pop onto the Discord store and all I see are decent quality games that I know I'm going to enjoy, that is a complete win for me, because I don't have to research what the heck is this game, what the heck is this game. If it's something new and it's on there, then we know that it is vetted, it is value, and you can enjoy it. You can you won't waste your time on that. I know some people like playing the indie games and trying out something new, but I think if an indie game is worth its merit, it should be able to go through any parameters that they're searching for and make sure that it is something worth your time, because we're all busy. There's so many games to come out. Even if you don't have a job right now, if you're 13, 14 years old and you're playing video games and you got to worry about school and that's it, or you're on break and you're like, cool, I got 2 to 3 weeks, whatever it is, or summer break, you still have a specific amount of time in your day and in your life. There's not enough time to play all these games, unfortunately. So we want to, obviously, just like this show, we want to give you an idea of what's worth it, what you can do, and what will help you. If Discord is going to vet games, they're going to cultivate on their store, I think that's a fantastic news, fantastic idea. And speaking of fantastic ideas, forever, Nazi imagery has been illegal in Germany, and except when it comes to art. If you're doing a movie, it's considered art, so it was protected. But if you wanted to do a video game, for instance, Wolfenstein, your game was subject to that censorship. So any Nazi imagery, depictions of Hitler or anything like that were not allowed. And it was the idea was to not glorify it, not make fun of it, whatever. It's censorship. I don't like it. But in regards to video games, now Wolfenstein can be viewed in its original form. Games in Germany can have Nazi imagery. They are considered art, which is great because they are art. I think it's great that they're able to do this, because the way that they've pushed forward with that in history has been that Nazis are basically... what was it? They're like either aliens or robots or something, because they can't show the violence. And I was talking to my nephews about that this past week, and we were talking about how ridiculous it is that they couldn't have Hitler. You'd have to have someone else. You can't have blood, which is a different story. But the Nazi symbol would have to be something else. And it's stupid censorship when it comes to something that should have weight, and I think that censoring it takes the weight out of it. it doesn't show the gravity of the situation when you talk about something as evil as the Nazis were. And if you censor that and you don't talk about how horrible it is, then when you see it again in history, it's not recognized as easily, which we're going through right now. So I'm glad that this is being done. I'm glad that this is being allowed to be in Germany. Speaking of first-person shooters that we all love, Doom on the Nintendo Switch, this is the Doom Eternal on Switch, is going to allow invasion from players onto your Switch to attack you, which I think is amazing. I want to see exactly how that plays out in the games. I think it's going to be interesting. And Doom is one that I think will be really cool to play on Switch. Again, my motto is I'm repeating myself, but if I can jump in, play for 5-10 minutes, and then pop out, and I got something out of it, that's great. Doom can do that. Doom is so fast-paced that I think it'll be great for this. Obviously, docked does not have to worry about that, but the handheld mode, which is what Switch is really, where Switch shines, should be important on that. But being able to invade people on this is going to be really cool. It's going to be very interesting. I can't wait to see exactly how that rolls out, because it could be really fun. Switching gears a little bit, EA's CEO has just left the company. Patrick Sunderland has left the company just before his bonus, and that was the big tagline that everyone talks about. But if you look at the previous years, they've been paying him and increasing his bonus year after year to keep him in the company. This guy's done everything from Battlefield, as you can see here. I mean, he's been a part of just tons of stuff through DICE, and I mean, it sucks for EA to lose him, but I'm wondering, and I don't know honestly as much about his. Kevin will probably correct me, but I don't know if he was one of the big pushers of microtransactions and that sort. If he was, good riddance. If he wasn't, then it's going to be hard for them, because EA's been, from a business standpoint, putting out some decent product. And if he was one of the movers that's been pushing that and being able to keep quality, then that's a really big loss for them. It is interesting he did it right before his bonus. To me, that shows that it shows some integrity to not have to wait, to not wait it out, hit the bonus, then leave. It shows some integrity to do that. I don't know if his contract stated if he took the bonus he had to stay on for a certain amount of time. Maybe that's why. But either way, it shows some integrity that he did that, which is great. Switching gears a little bit, talking about Microsoft. Microsoft's new Santa Monica studio is The Initiative. We talked about them earlier this year. They've been hiring like crazy. Some of the people that they've been hiring, interestingly enough, have been people who have consistently done some great things on Sony, which I think is really interesting. Brian Westergaard was God of War's senior managing producer, lead and senior producer of Rise of the Tomb Raider. So two great games, one huge, both critically successful games, if not sales successful. Christian Cantamessa, Red Dead Redemption and Shadow of Mordor's lead writer and designer. Holy crap. Even if it's the first Red Dead, that's fine. I'm assuming it's the first, not the second, because it doesn't state it. And then you've got Daniel Neuberger, who is Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider's co-director. I mean, the initiative definitely is an initiative to get ridiculous top-tier talent over to the Microsoft team, get them over there, which is interesting. Microsoft is, well, at least smart. Microsoft's looking at what Sony did and said, hey, we need to emulate that. We need to do what Sony's doing, and because Sony is consistently knocking it out the park, how can we do that? And for Microsoft to do that is very smart at their, because right now the Xbox One is not doing that well. So doing this is really going to help them in the future. This is the long game that they're playing. It's not the next year or two. It's going to be maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years down the line. what Xbox is doing now is going to definitely show within 5 years, I think. Got some last bit of news. Additional news is Timesplitters was just bought by Koch Media, THQ Nordic, which I was never a big fan of Timesplitters. I know it was a thing. I know people like it. I know a lot of people enjoy it. I think that at that time I was busy playing Half-Life, and then playing. I got away from shooters and was playing stuff like Conker's Bad Fur Day, or not Conker's, but different games like that. Got away from shooters, but it is interesting. THQ Nordic's got this IP now. It'd be interesting to see what they do with that. Timesplitters and Second Sight intellectual properties. It's considered one of the most influential console games, blah, 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 blah. You can say what you want about it. THQ Nordic's press release was saying, the 3 games in the series earned a large and passionate fan base thanks to its unique humor, art style, and pop culture references, while encouraging customization and modification to each person. This is stupid. This person can't write to their own individual experience. Let's listen to that sentence again. Let's listen to the last half of that sentence again because it doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Never mind. It makes perfect sense. I can't read. It says to give each person their own individual experience. So that shows my ability to read things out loud. I can't read out loud well. This is something I know. Anyways, that's not something that matters to you, but if it does, then subscribe and let me know how I can better myself to give you a better, product, because gaming's awesome, and we want to show you what's important in gaming. I think this week was an interesting week. Not one of the best weeks, not one of the big blowout weeks, but we're waiting for that because we have Spider-Man coming out. We've got Red Dead Redemption coming out. We've got Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming out. We have a lot of great games coming out, and I think that it's going to be quiet for a little bit, but we'll have some larger news later this year. So subscribe, listen to us on wherever you can find podcasts. If you listen to this podcast, definitely follow us. Let us know on Twitter what you think of our show. You can tweet to us at TWIOCH. We're TWIOCH Gaming on Twitch. It's the only one that we're different. We're one day going to take out whoever has TWIOCH, and we're going to extort them or something to get that name. Anyways, let us know in the comments what you think about this week's news, and what your favorite first-person shooters from the early 2000s. Did you like Timesplitters? Were you more of a Half-Life fan? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you later.
Thanks for watching This Week in Our Collective Heads. Subscribe over here and click the bell, and that way you'll know about any new videos that we put up, because we put up a lot of gameplay, a lot of stories from games and stuff like that, and gameplay is down here.
Yeah, and you got more editorials and news stuff down here. Check it out.